Plus, meet the author of Dirty Girl, who will help you detox your life. All that and more as Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, starts now. And when we come back, the reason you might be feeling tired and sluggish, I'm sitting down with the author of Dirty Girl. We'll be right back. As women, we deal with underlying health issues like fatigue and hair loss. Our next guest says the root cause could be toxins. Joining us now is the author of Dirty Girl, Ditch the Toxins, Look Great and Feel Freaking Amazing, functional medicine practitioner, Dr. Wendie Trubow. Dr. Wendie, it's so great to meet you.
You too, Gail. Thanks for having me on.
So I think this is incredible. You're a doctor, OBGYN, and you wrote this book and you took a deep dive into this because this was your life. You were feeling that fatigue. You were experiencing those hormone disruptors.
I gained almost 10 pounds. Half the hair on my head fell off, and I had a rash on my face that would not quit. And I was miserable.
And so you started to realize that as we look around in life, and we'll start with the food, we really need to clean up our lives.
We do. We need to clean up what goes in our body, what goes on our body, and what's around us, as well as the foundational issues that will have us be healthy or not healthy.
Okay, so when we're eating foods, are you a proponent of organic? What kind of meat should we be eating?
Yeah, great question. So you'll notice yes to organic, yes to grass-fed, and you'll notice, you know, the RDA says eat 5 to 7 servings of fruits to vegetables per day, but people stop listening after 5 on the fruits. And they say, oh, I'm going to eat 5 servings of fruits, and I'll eat a little vegetables. But really, you need those cruciferous, green leafy vegetables. The cruciferous are also known as brassica. And what they do is they support the liver at getting rid of your toxins. So you really want to support the body at cleaning itself, right? Okay. So yes, except not too much fruit, more vegetables, grass-fed meats. Microgreens are fantastic, especially organic, because it's hard to describe. They have the same nutrients in them when they're little as they do when they're big. So you can eat the same amount, but get 20 times the nutrients.
I love that. I love that. Then we need to start talking about what we're putting on our bodies. I'm going crazy with that Yuka scanner. I'm scanning everything, and I'm realizing that everything I'm putting on myself is filled with toxins.
Ignorance is bliss, Gail.
Yeah,
but knowledge is power.
Yes.
Let me back up one step, though, because we have different types of drinks here. Okay. Why do I have these? Because all of us are drinking from these.
Plastic.
These are endocrine disruptors, which means that your thyroid, your adrenals, your female hormones get completely thrown off. And it's bad for the earth. Okay. So you want to eliminate these wherever possible. Go for glass. Okay. Watch your sugar, because sugar is very inflammatory. That'll throw the system off too. And here's the part where people might stop listening. This is not good for you.
Not even the dry farm, organic-y kind?
It's an improvement, right? So think of life like a spectrum. You want to level up wherever possible. So if you're drinking non-organic, high sugar, wine that has tons of pesticides concentrated into it, yes, level up. Okay. And try to minimize. All right. Okay. Back to what's on you. Now, our body, our skin is a tremendous organ. It's the biggest organ. It is a great absorber. But if you put toxins in it, it's going to absorb the toxins. So ensure that the products you're putting on your body are clean, preferably vetted by the environmental working group, which will look at what you're putting on and say, is it good, is it medium, or is it really pretty scary? Right. So aim, whenever you're running out of a beauty product, level up. Okay. All right, good to know. And then you're talking about how we store our foods. Oh, yes. And I just made a huge change to all glass containers. It's something we need to do. Yes. Okay, so this is what we all have somewhere. These are like ants. I can't quite get rid of them. I get rid of them, then I find them again. So these have the plastic, just like the water bottles, that are endocrine disrupting. So with so many of us dealing with thyroid issues, perimenopausal issues, all kinds of things. And remember, this is my story too. This is something to ditch. Get rid of them. So do you think if I start following your protocol, because I know you give folks a roadmap in your Dirty Girl book. I mean, I've shared this with our viewers so many times. I struggle with hypothyroidism to a point that I can't even explain. Do you think if I start really, I mean, I do a lot of what you're talking about, but just clean it all up? I think it's an amazing start. So there's so many layers to this. This is in, on, and around, and then there's the foundational behaviors.
Right.
So if you don't sleep, you can't recover. Most of us, especially women, need way more sleep than we're getting. So 7 hours in bed translates to under 7 hours of sleep. So aim for 8 to 10. I'm happiest at 9 hours of sleep. Who knew? Then
the people that we hang out with.
People, yes. If you can have the best lifestyle and the best supplements, but if you're with toxic humans, it takes a toll because it activates your adrenal glands, it shuts down your detox, then you sit with all these toxins because your body thinks a lion's going to eat you, even though it's not.
Right.
We're still pretty primitive. Then how do you think? You have 65,000 thoughts a day. Are you having thoughts that empower you, or are you having thoughts that turn on your stress hormones, your adrenals, saying you're bad, you're dumb, you're always a screw-up, nobody's going to like you? Those are actually toxic for you.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm so glad you look at this holistically. I think it's brilliant, exciting book. We all should be reading it, and I really appreciate you coming to the Tampa Bay area. What a pleasure it is to meet you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I hope you come back.